Okay, so today we're going to explore some possibilities on correcting this body warp on the Digger Cuda. Just to refresh your memory, this is how bad the warp is. It comes like that, and the whole production run, I think, they were all warped. And today I'm going to try the boiling water method. I've got the hot plate out here, and the water getting ready to boil it. What I'm going to try first here, I've got a scrap piece here. This is off the 34 Ford, and any of y'all that have ever built a car like this, you know these fender units are always warped, and it's not a problem on these kits because they just glue to the frame and glue to the rest of the body, and it straightens itself out. But you know, naturally this one is warped as well, and as a test, so I don't stand the risk of ruining this Digger Cuda body, I'm going to put this one in the boiling water first and see what I can do. My guess is that I can put it in there, let it get really hot, set it down here on this flat piece of wood, and then just kind of press it down until it cools, and then let go, and hopefully it's going to be straight. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the theory is, of course, the boiling water, I'll get it started here. I'm going to put this on high, which it says is, can't read that, it says 425 degrees, but I mean, I just need it to boil, and I'll start it. So that'll boil any moment here. Now, it shouldn't be a problem, actually. The concern is always that the plastic is going to melt, but as it turns out, the melting point of polystyrene is very high. It's like 460 degrees. So it shouldn't melt no matter what. And I'm going to kind of test that theory with this piece here. I don't have a complete 34 Ford, so this is a spare part. So if I end up melting this, it's not the end of the world, but it'll be the guinea pig, because I definitely don't want to melt this. So we'll wait for the water to boil and we'll give this a try. Okay, I'm going to give this another go. I had a clip that didn't come out. I had toned this down. I had turned it down to medium, which was like 275 maybe. And I tried it. I put the body in and it didn't straighten it at all. And so I have now turned it up to medium high, which is saying 375. And we'll see if that works. It is boiling, sort of. And we'll give that a go. But at like 250 or 225, it didn't even really seem hot. The body didn't even seem very hot when I took it out. So I'll just leave this in here for, I don't know how long. My guess is that it turns, it gets to the temperature of the water very fast, probably in a matter of just seconds. But, you know, you're seeing this in real time. I suppose it's been in there, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds. And I'll get the tongs now. And I'll pull it out and see if it's hot enough. Okay, so set it up here. Whoops. And see if that levels it out. Definitely hotter this time. Holding it down, letting go, still warped. Although, you know, I've got to say, it looks like it's a little better. I'm going to put it back in. Put it back in. Wait a little while longer. We'll give it about 20 seconds this time. And we'll just kind of wait. And as you can see, the back of the body is actually down there on the bottom of, resting on the bottom of the pan, which is the hottest part. And so that part of the pan is probably that full 375. And as you can see in there, try to zoom in there, it's not melting. You know, much the same way as like when you're cooking, your spatula, plastic spatula doesn't melt. Now on high, this was reading a temperature, I can't remember what it was, but I think it was like 425 or something. And it's starting, that would be starting to get up there to melting temperature for polystyrene, so I hope it's going to work on this level. Okay, so it's been in there for a little while longer. Grab it out of there, set it down, and we'll look at it, and yeah, we're getting results here. It's flattening out. So I'm going to sit here and hold it down while it cools. And the body feels warm. It doesn't feel like it's giving way. It's not like I'm going to be able to, like with my thumb there, it's not like I'm going to be able to push through that fender and make it warp. But that's looking better. It's definitely looking better. And now I'm kind of wondering how flat this piece of wood is. But this is doing the trick. This is good news. Now if this piece of wood is completely flat, then the tip of that nose is going to equal out with the back of that fender unit. So I'm gonna keep, let's see, farther back on the piece of wood. I don't know exactly how flat this piece of wood is, but this is working. This is a good sign. So I'm gonna put it back in and wait even longer this time and come back. Okay, it's been in there closer to a minute or two this time, and I actually got the air bubble out of there as well, so that it was resting flat on the bottom for a while. And I'm getting ready to pull it out, so you know this one is about 2 minutes in the water. See if I can get a hold of it. And then I'm gonna set it down quick and hopefully it flattens out. Bang. There. And it is practically flat. This is amazing. This is something that I've always wanted to be able to do. It's flat, guys. It's straightened out. This is awesome. As you can see there. Or, you know, you get the idea. So, I feel very confident and very safe that it's going to be perfectly okay to put this in there. And we have the same situation here. If you look at, see if I can get the, if you look at the line going straight down the body, you can see that it is straight. So this is going to be a situation where it is completely straight, the bottom pan is completely straight, and the top is completely straight. So I should be able to just put this in there for about 2 minutes, get it really hot, and then set it down on this flat surface, and it should be fixed. That's the theory anyway. Let's give it a try. Okay, so here goes nothing. Here's just another look at how bad this warp is. I mean, it's bad. You know, you press down on that, the front comes up, and it's a bad warp. So, still nervous about it, but I'm going to put it in. Here goes nothing. Realizing just now it's actually kind of longer than the pan. And there it goes. So I will leave that in there for a little over a minute. Anyway, there's the 2-minute mark. Oh, let's pull it out. Tongs. And try to do this quickly. Got it. Alright. Put it down. And see what we got. Instantly. Guys, it's instant. It's flat. Look at that. Done. That's crazy. Warp is gone. I mean, there's something there, and I'll keep on working on this. It's like it bowed up a little bit there. Yeah, I needed to hold it. Yeah, I spoke too soon. I needed to hold it down. When it first came out of the water, I needed to hold it down so that it stays completely flat. So I'm going to put it back in and refresh. And this time I'll hold it down. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to hold it down. It is hot. Completely flat on the board. Get ready yet? A little bit of a bow there, but the major horrible warp is gone. Let's see what it looks like when I put it on the bottom unit. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I have a kind of a new problem where I've got to get the middle of it to sink down now and line up. Although that's a optical illusion. Looks like it will work. Let me see what I got here. And on this side, it's straight, but it's bent in. So now what I have to do is when it comes out, I have to set it down and pull the edges out. Okay, so after fighting with it quite a bit, here's where I'm at. It was looking pretty good, but it kind of stopped looking pretty good. I was able to get it pretty much straight right off the bat. Getting it straight is not that much of a problem, but when you start to look at other things that are happening here, like you see this kind of a contour warp that is on this side and it's not on that side, I think is coming from the boiling process. And this fender does not look like this fender. I think that happened from the boiling. And there's a bow to the trunk lid that really wasn't there. And this this bend right here, I was able to take that bend out quite a few times and have it stay, only to have it go back again when I kept on reboiling. And then ultimately the biggest problem that I ran into, now what I was doing is I was leaving it in there a number of times, and that's why I'm not wasn't showing on camera, because I was leaving it in the boiling water and kind of working on it. But here is the biggest problem. If you can see up here, this is matching up where it's supposed to be matching up, and then I have this new problem that's happened here. It's not reaching, and that is because boiling it so many times has shrunk it. The whole body shrunk, and so that's no good, and so it's missing by a mile. So something else that just come up. I just realized that when I bought that kit, I bought 3 long nose dragsters, and so I just went inside to check the status of the others, because now I'm thinking they're all warped. But as it turns out, like the Stingery here is in 2 pieces, which was probably a much better idea. And the 2 pieces are nice and straight. Those 2 together, and then there's some side panels that are also straight, and the frame is nice and straight. And as you can see, that's nice or will be nice and straight. So there's no problem with this one. And so I'm going to have, this was actually my biggest concern because this was the one I liked the most, the Stingery. And what I've established here is that when you're doing this boiling method, you have like maybe 1 or 2 tries. Figure out what you need to do, where you need to pull and prod, and get it done on the first try, or maybe the second try, because I dipped this in probably 10 times in the boiling water, and that's what made it shrink. And so if you don't have it by the second try, just give it up, because it's going to shrink. Which is something I had no idea it was going to do, but I've established this here today. And anyway, now I'm done. So y'all have a good one. Later.